Morning, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the pre-meeting of the Newark Municipal Council on Tuesday, September 16th. Council President, council members, we have appointments this morning on page 20 of the agenda. Item 8A is an appointment to the Affirmative Action Review Council, Deputy Mayor Rahman Mohammed.
I do not see the deputy mayor. We can swap it out. Let's go to the second one since Mr. Lewis is here.
B is appointment to the Newark Housing Authority Board, Marquise Aquil Lewis.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You have been selected by the mayor to be appointed to the Newark Housing Authority Board. You have an opening statement.
Yes. First, I would like to thank the mayor for this appointment, for the confidence in selecting me. I would like to thank the city council for considering me. Just want to say something to the council. I am a product of Stellar Wright Projects. Born and raised in Stellar Wright Projects, higher court projects. My mother still live in Newark Housing Authority. I am a product of Newark Housing Authority, and I believe that my experience of being an employee and also being a product of the Housing Authority brings some new energy to this commissioner. As commissioner, I believe that by putting Marquise Aquil Lewis on this board, you will have confidence. You will be able to sleep comfortably knowing that I'm there to make sure that our residents receive the best services, put forth the best policies in place to make sure that our residents and our employees are safe and they are at the front of the agenda every meeting and every moment that I serve on that, as in that capacity.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Anything from the council? Councilman Gonzalez.
Marquise, congratulations on your nomination. We have, or I have read that there is a possibility of a substantial privatization of the units at the Housing Authority. What are your thoughts about that?
So I want to ask you, I don't think that's an appropriate question to ask at this point, Councilman.
What do you mean that is not appropriate? He's going
because
to be
it-
making decisions
think-
whether that happens or not.
Well, I think what it does is it's a predisposition. It's almost like asking a jury, do you find this person guilty or not?
But this, I have my right to ask the question that I want to ask, and he should be answering the question that I asked.
All right, well, Mr. Lewis.
So my position.
Well, I'm sorry, hold on. Corporation Counsel.
Good morning, Kenyatta Stewart, City of Newark Corporation Council. So, Council President, what I will say is, while I recognize and appreciate that Councilman Gonzalez has a question in reference to a serious issue that we're facing here in Newark with the Housing Authority, I think it's only fair for Mr. Lewis and any other member of the Housing Authority, potential member of the Housing Authority, to get all the information.
But he can just say, I don't have a comment, and that's the answer. But let's say you cannot preclude me from asking the question.
So, Councilman, you're correct. I do apologize for doing that. Go right ahead, Councilman. Mr. Lewis.
No comment at this time, Councilman.
Well, thank you. I gave you the answer. No.
So, thank you.
And again, Councilman Gonzalez, I apologize for that. I'm not trying to, stir up the pot or anything. Any other questions from the council? Councilman Ramos.
Yeah, Marquise, you're not an employee anymore, right, at the Housing Authority?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else from the council? Hearing none, thank you, Mr. Lewis, and congratulations. Deputy Mayor is here.
Deputy Mayor Rahman Mohammed, appointment to the Affirmative Action Review Council.
Yes. I'm excited about it.
Good morning, good morning, good morning,
Good morning, Deputy Mayor Rahman Mohammed. You have been selected to be appointed by the mayor to the Affirmative Action Review Council. Do you have an opening statement that you would like to?
I'm sorry?
Do we have an opening statement that you would like to make?
I mean, we've been complaining about this committee for some time, at least my man Tillman has. So I guess the mayor said, well, Rock, you got to go fix it. So, I'm here to give my expertise into ensuring that we put together a good committee so that hopefully my brother over here to the right of me would be able to come to the committee and say, okay, at least something's working. All right.
Thank you. Any questions from the council?
I would like to sponsor Deputy Mayor Rahman Mohammed to be the chair. Hallelujah.
Sponsored by Councilwoman Scott Roundtree, second by Councilman Kelly. Anything else from the council? All right, hearing none, congratulations.
Thanks, bro.
Look forward to your work.
Mr. President, before you,
Councilman Gonzalez, what'd you say?
as I understand, there's a limitation as it's not related to you.
Okay.
There's a limitation as to the number of city employees that can be members of the Housing Authority Board. I would like to hear if that's what's the case.
Good morning again, Kenyatta Stewart, City of Newark Corporation Council. So Councilman Gonzalez, I did receive a document this morning, probably 20 minutes ago, in reference to the same question that you're asking. We're going to do the research, have the answer to you before the end of the day. I recognize that what the statute says, also understand that there may be some housing authorities that interpret it different. So I just want to make sure I give the council a full-fledged understanding of what the law says.
Yeah, maybe we can get it before the meeting tomorrow.
No, I said
Oh, you
today.
said today.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
All right, thank you.
Council President, council members, we are on page 4 of the agenda. Item 5, reports and recommendations of city officers, boards, and commissions.
Questions from the council? Seeing, hearing none, next item.
Ordinances on first reading, 6FA will be deferred. B is an ordinance authorizing an agreement to exchange land for city-owned properties in the South Ward.
Questions from,
Mr.
I
President.
think you had a question before
Yes,
Councilman
if you
Gonzalez,
will
yeah.
recall, I asked that we be given the values of the properties being exchanged to make sure that we are exchanging similar or properties similar in value, and we haven't received any information regarding that.
So the clerk's office, just make sure we get that information from EHD before the meeting tomorrow. Thank you.
Duly noted.
Any other questions for this matter? Hearing none, next item.
C is an ordinance granting a 30-year tax abatement to 1007-1009 Broad Development Urban Renewal LLC for a project to construct a new 6-story building consisting of 48 market-rate residential rental units, 8 affordable housing rental units, of which 1 unit shall be restricted to tenants at 40% of area median income or AMI. 2 units shall be restricted to tenants at 60% of AMI, and 5 units shall be restricted to tenants at 80% of AMI in the Central Ward.
Questions from the council? Hearing none, next item.
D is an ordinance amending and supplementing the soil erosion and sediment control.
Questions from the council? Next item.
Public hearing, second reading, and final passage. 6PSFA is an ordinance providing for the construction of the Resilient Hope Project and appropriating $4,500,000.
Anything from the council? Mr. Guzman, Director Guzman, is this ready to move forward?
Good morning, Council President, council members, Benjamin Guzman, Director of Finance. Yes, this ordinance is ready to go before the council. We have received authorization and acceptance from local finance board to be able to move forward.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions from the council? While you're up here, let's do, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Madam Clerk.
Yeah, and similarly with 6P SFB, that as well has received authorization from local finance board, and we can continue as well.
All right. Thank you, Director.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry, Councilman Kelly.
Yes, this is the project that I sponsored in the West. I believe.
Which one are you talking about? SBSFA?
Yes.
I don't know if we have
I
sponsors
remember,
on that
yeah.
one.
I don't know. I don't know if I have the answer for that. This is the
No.
Resilient Hope project that's being initiated by the Office of Homeless Services with Director Illyrio. And I know that there is going to be the exact location in the city. I'm not sure where it is located, if it is in your ward, but it is to be able to provide
In the
transitional
West.
housing and also services.
Yes, I believe we was doing this in the West.
Yeah, I think it is in the West. Would you, let's do this. Kelly sponsors. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by somebody. Councilwoman Scott Roundtree. Oh, I'm sorry, Gonzalez. I knew you said something. Gonzalez, Councilman Gonzalez. All right. I think, you may stay for the next one, I think, maybe, right?
Yes, as well.
I'm sorry, let's let the clerk read it first.
C is amending ordinance providing for additional filters at the Pequannock Water Treatment Plant and other related expenses and appropriating $15 million.
Again, council members, this is this project for the Pequannock water filters is for additional filters at that facility and looking to finance the additional $15 million through the New Jersey Infrastructure Bank. And again, like with most projects through the Infrastructure Bank, there is principal forgiveness involved. As to what that principal forgiveness amount will be, it is unknown at this time. That will be known when we permanently finance the expenditures for these additional filters based on the state's available funds for forgiveness for that particular year when we do actually permanently finance these.
Thank you, Director. Any questions from the council? Hearing none. Next item.
D is an ordinance providing for the Green Parks projects and other related expenses and appropriating $4,050,000.
You're up
And again, yes, it's this another project being financed through the New Jersey Infrastructure Bank. And again, this is to in order to permit the temporary construction financing for this project. And then again, once we permanently finance these projects, we will receive information from the state as to how much principal forgiveness will be provided for this project. Again, all these projects do have some component of principal forgiveness, and whatever is not forgiven, it is paid at a substantially lower interest rate than the open market.
Thank you, Director. Questions from the council? All right, hearing none. Next item.
E is an ordinance amending traffic by designating 2nd Avenue West and North 7th Street as a multi-way stop sign intersection in the North Ward.
Questions from the council? Next item.
F is an ordinance granting a 20-year tax abatement to Gomes Green Urban Renewal LLC for a project located in the East Ward to construct 28 residential rental units consisting of 22 one-bedroom market rate residential rental units and 6 affordable housing rental units, of which 1-bedroom unit shall be restricted to tenants at 40% of area median income, AMI. 2 one-bedroom units shall be restricted to tenants at 60% of AMI, and 3 one-bedroom units shall be restricted to tenants at 80% of AMI. Sponsored by Councilman Silva, second by Councilman Kelly.
Questions on the matter? Next item.
G is an ordinance providing for Green Street projects and other related expenses and appropriating $6,500,000.
Director Guzman.
Good morning, Council President, council members. Again, this is similar to the other projects that are being funded through the New Jersey Infrastructure Bank. These Green Street projects, again, this is to authorize the construction loan financing of up to a maximum of $6.5 million. And again, once it's permanently financed, we will receive a portion of principal forgiveness and again, favorable loan rates for their remaining balance.
Thank you. I see Director Deem in the back. I mean, if we can get some more specifics on it. I think it was for stormwater.
Good morning, Council President, Council members. Kareem Medine, Director, Department of Water and Utilities. The Green Street projects is about 13 projects that we're going to be putting all throughout all 5 wards. So that's what that grant is for. We got 13 that's ready to go into construction, similar to what we did at Clinton and Badger and the one we did on MLK in Central. All right.
Thank you. Any questions for Director Adine? Hearing none, thank you.
Council President. I just have-
Councilman Silva.
Yeah, going back to what Councilman Kelly was talking about, I'm looking through the notes here. There's no description of where this money is being allocated to. So if we can at least get that
With
information.
regards to the
As far as Councilman
Resilient
Kelly
Hope?
asking that question, is that for his project?
Mhm.
Nowhere in that, in the notes does it say specifically where that money is going to go. So he was asking that question, but I think it should be provided to us exactly where the money.
Yeah, I believe Director Olerio spoke about it the first time, but what we could do is we can have a follow-up and get that in writing to us.
I'm sorry, not only this one, it was the prior ones to where Director Guzman came up.
But the one you're talking about for him, yeah,
Yes,
absolutely,
yes.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it doesn't say, both of them don't say exactly where the money's being allocated to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Should be in
I
the
believe
notes.
Director Olerio explained it, but we don't have it in there.
Yep.
So what we'll do is we'll get it in writing.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
Mr. President, if I may,
Councilman
just
Gonzalez.
want to thank Director for providing me with the debt analysis. Even though the debt continues to go up, the assessed value of the properties in the city of Newark continue to go up. So the 3.5%, I believe it is, or 3%.
Correct.
We will not reach that in years to come because of the increasing assessed values of the properties in the city. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Next item.
Resolutions. 7R1A is to extend an emergency contract for Path Home renovation project.
Questions from the council? Hearing none, next item.
B is the use of a state contract for mailroom equipment.
Questions from the council? Next item.
7R2A is a professional service contract for engineering and construction management services.
Questions from the council? Next item.
B through D are all private sales redevelopment agreements. B is new construction of 5 two-family homes to sell at market rate in the South Ward.
Questions from the council?
And Mr. Chair, I'm going to ask this item be deferred just one more time.
Motion to defer by Councilman Council, second by Councilman Quintana. I meant Quintana. Gonzalez, excuse me. I know, man. That's why I have this large cup of coffee this morning.
Twins.
C is to newly construct a parking lot for the adjacent owned school in the Central Ward.
Questions from the council?
I'll sponsor that.
I'll second.
Everybody at once. Huh? Gonzalez, and I think it was Ramos was next.
Duly noted. D is new construction of a 4-story building with 25 affordable residential units and 14 parking spaces in the West Ward.
Council President, I'd like to sponsor this.
I second that.
Kelly Gonzalez.
Duly noted. E is referral of proposed amendments to the zoning and land use regulations.
Questions from the council?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, can somebody just tell us what these amendments are?
Good morning, Council.
Good morning.
Brandy Daniel, Legislative Coordinator for Economic and Housing Development. This is in regards to some changes that were made during the master plan with some of the R1 areas that were changed to Commercial 1 and Commercial 2. At the time, there wasn't an issue, but lately some neighborhood committees have been having issues with the overbuilding of the buildings. So what this does is change these back to R1s so that they're only one-family dwellings versus multiple dwellings.
And this is in certain neighborhoods throughout.
Correct.
Yeah, could you just provide the clerk a list of the areas within the city that are impacted by this change? I mean, I'll look it up in the backup, but just so everybody has it.
No problem. I'll get that information to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Daniel.
You're welcome.
Next item.
F is declaring an area in need of redevelopment in the Central Ward.
Questions from the council?
Hmm.
Next item.
G is investigation for area in need of redevelopment in the North Ward.
Questions from the council?
I'll sponsor this.
Your sponsor, Ramos Quintana. I'm sorry, he said.
Yeah, Mr. President, with G, if we can get through your office and the clerk, there's a property on the corner of Ropes Place and Franklin. There used to be an old gas station, mechanic shop, that was demolished a few years ago. And it's adjacent to these properties that are being looked at as a possible area in need of redevelopment. And I'm not sure what the status of that project is, but there are a lot of complaints from the neighborhood about the lot, and it will impact potentially these two or three properties that you're looking to designate. So I'm not sure if that particular site received approval for development. If it did receive approval, what's the status of that project?
All right, Madam Clerk, we can follow up with the EHD on that.
Thank you.
Certainly.
Thank you. Next item.
7R5A is acceptance of essential baby gear, including strollers, diapers, baby carriers, and clothing.
Questions from the council? The question I have is whether Councilman Kelly needs any of these items. You're not even listening, never mind. Bad joke for everybody. Next item.
7R8A is a support resolution supporting the Immigrant Trust Act to protect immigrant communities in the state of New Jersey, sponsored by Council President Crump.
So, I think all of the council members received a copy of some information regarding this from Ms. Moreno. We're fortunate to have Ms. Moreno here from American Families United. And so I would like her to come up and just give a brief explanation of what this resolution is, and what it does.
Thank you, President Crump. My name is Julie Moreno. I'm a resident of Newark, New Jersey, a small business owner in Newark, and the New Jersey State Captain of American Families United, which is an organization of U.S. citizens with undocumented spouses who are unable to adjust their status. The Newark City Resolution will defend and protect immigrant communities or neighborhoods and communities, of which Newark has many. Immigrant families attend our schools, work in essential roles, contribute to our economy, and pay taxes. But when fear of exposure deters them from using health clinics, schools, libraries, shelters, or programs for which they qualify, the whole community suffers. Outbreaks go unreported, children's education is interrupted, public health risks rise, economic opportunity is lost. A Newark Trust Act would ensure the public services are accessible without fear of immigration consequences. It would protect privacy, limiting collection or sharing of immigration status information when not strictly necessary. Another focus is on the focus on local priorities, not diverting them towards federal immigration enforcement. Newark saves money and gets a better outcome. Think of fewer costs associated with unattended public health crises, lower crime costs when communities trust and cooperate with police, fewer legal or civil costs arising from wrongful detention or violations. Moreover, immigrant residents are economic participants, workers, entrepreneurs, consumers. When they are confident that coming forward or engaging with the city life won't put them at risk, they invest in Newark's overall economic health. Until the state of New Jersey legislative leadership allows any hearings to be held, the best public forum we have on the bill are these resolutions and the discussions they inspire.
Thank you,
very
Ms.
much.
Moreno. And just to add, you started mentioning it, this is something that's being sponsored this is to support an act, ordinances, statute that's being sponsored in the state legislature, as well as it aligns with the Attorney General's directives.
Yes.
So this is something that many cities around the state have already been a part of and have already voted on and approved it, from Morristown to some, I hate to say it like this, red cities and blue cities. So it's a nonpartisan type of a situation that I think we should support. And Councilwoman Scott Brown,
Just wanted to second your sponsorship.
you have your second on that one.
Mr. President,
Any
it's,
from there?
if I may, in terms of this conflicting with the say the city being a sanctuary city, how this expands or contracts what we have already in the books.
So this doesn't conflict with the sanctuary cities. No,
It's not.
no.
But does it expand the benefits?
So what it does, well, the actual act will ensure the benefits. I'll put it that way. It's based upon Attorney General directives as how to handle immigration in the state of New Jersey. And so it is all aligns. Councilman Quintana.
Turns on the federal side, for the federal qualified health centers, no longer they can treat, an order from the secretary. They cannot see any more undocumented folks at every federal qualified health center in the country. So that's another issue that's affecting the communities, the immigrant community. And I think we should also engage with congressional leadership in terms of, and one of our leaders on the Department of Health is the Congressman Frank Pallone, and making sure he champions this cause for us, because again, Secretary Kennedy, in his order, is that all federal qualified health centers are not to take care of those undocumented, which is a problem. And it's going to continue hitting us. At the state level, the funding is going to come from HRSA too. So we're going to be affected in any aspect. They're trying to really wipe everybody out. So we need to also encourage our federal delegation to do something. Because again, this is an attack on those that don't have an opportunity to be able to use the 340B, which is a medicine of discount for manufacturers. Those folks cannot utilize the federal qualified health centers, which is crazy. So again, we all need to champion whatever the cost is at the state level, at the local level, and at the federal level.
Thank you, Councilman Quintana. Councilman Gonzalez.
If you don't mind, I just wanted to add one thing about the ITD versus ITA. The ITD is just a state directive at the discretion of the Attorney General.
Thank you, Ms.
And so
Moreno.
codified.
I really, yeah.
I emailed you a copy of a resolution. I think it was an ordinance from the southern states that regarding the Fourth Amendment. Let's say that they, let's say, embrace the Fourth Amendment and make it mandatory in the areas, or let's say, so that people cannot be subjected to search and seizures in their towns. So I believe that's an ordinance that we should, let's say, sponsor here in the council, so that people are protected from being snatched on the street without a warrant.
Yes, and Councilman, if you want to take the charge on that, or you want me to do it, I have no problem.
As a president,
I know you sent it to me. We'll get up right on that one. Next item, next item.
B is supporting a special event, the Annual Day of Prayer Acclamation Day, sponsored by Councilman Quintana.
Is there a second? Second by Councilwoman Scott Roundtree.
C is a ceremonial street designation for Reverend Raymond Greer, sponsored by Councilwoman Scott Roundtree.
Second.
Second by Councilman Council.
D is resolution declaring the month of September as Suicide Awareness Month, sponsored by Councilwoman Scott Roundtree.
I'll second that one.
E is waiving special event application permit fees for the Jazz in the Street Festival, sponsored by Councilman Council.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Scott Roundtree.
F is recognizing and commending resolutions, and G is expressing profound sorrow and regret.
Anything from the council? Next item.
7R12A is a contract as required by the State of New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection Bureau of Water Allocation for services contracted.
Director, if you can come up and give us a short explanation on this matter.
Good morning, Council President, council members. Kareem Nadeem, Director, Department of Water and Sewer Utilities. This is a flow monitoring, temperature gauge monitoring that we do in the watershed, the stream monitoring, the temperature around for the fishes.
Any questions from the council? Thank you, Director.
Thank you.
Next item.
B is a memorandum of understanding with the Newark Board of Education for an educational program entitled Newark Watershed Science and Leadership Academy.
You know, this sounds good, so let's get an explanation on it.
This is a follow-up to a program that the Department of Water and Sewer launched in 2019, the Newark Science and Watershed Leadership Academy. We bring students from the Newark Board of Education up to the watershed, get to visit and see all the land we own, but they also could visit our treatment plant and introduce them to careers in water and wastewater.
Thank you. Any questions from the council? Thank you, Director.
Communications, items 8A and B.
I'm sorry, Councilman Gonzalez.
We should have the same with the Passaic Valley. Let's say they should go there, let's say take the students and have them, let's say, internships and stuff like that.
We do. By the way, in terms of Passaic Valley, we do. And we also do something which is great. We also hire college students within the four counties that Passaic Valley represents. And some of those interns have become permanent employees at Passaic Valley after completing their college's degrees. And there's like 20 or 30 students every year that come through Passaic Valley. You can't bring the younger ones because the plant is it can be very dangerous for young people because of the chemicals that are treated and the way the plant is set. But for 18-year-olds or 19-year-olds who are going to college, Passaic Valley, and we could testify to that, we have recommended folks and they have done well. Men and women in all kinds of positions have done well. Matter of fact, one of the top supervisors at Passaic Valley, Leslie Silva, she happened to be one who the late Donald Tucker, when he was commissioner, had her as an intern, and she's like the top supervisor at Passaic Valley because of her intern. So there's a lot of interns that we do within, but for the plant itself, it is very dangerous for young folks because of the level of the plant.
If the students cannot go to the plant may come to the students.
Well, we also have, we should get into that conversation. I'll bring someone here. We do a environmental protection where the youth, they go to the different schools throughout the four counties. And on the Passaic River, there is a program with schools that they work with where the kids come and see the contamination and see areas of the Passaic River. And it's something we do with this. And then there is a educational coloring books that are given to children in schools about Passaic Valley.
All right, thank you. Any other thing from the council? Thank you, Director. I don't think you should go too far because I think there's another. The other hat we're going to talk about in a second. Next item.
Communications, items 8A and B were discussed earlier. Item 8C is an ordinance to amend mandatory recycling regulations to revise the hours of placement on the curb of recyclable materials prior to collection.
Director?
Good morning, Council President, council members. This is Kareem Adeem, Interim Director of the Department of Public Works. This ordinance was just clarifying, there was a little language mixed up in the recycling, and when you can put your recycling out and when you cannot put your recycling out. We wanted to make sure that it was in line with the correct way of when we picking it up and with the time in the garbage. So just clarifying the time in the ordinance.
And the time is 7 to 10 p.m. the day before?
The day before, 7 to 10 p.m. the day before. It left it open where you can put just recycling out on a day of pickup. It was no cutoff. So you get a lot of late recycling.
Councilman Ramos?
Not about this.
Oh, okay. I saw you clicking.
I'm good with this.
Anything else from the council?
Yeah.
Councilman
So,
Silver?
Director, the recycling will be picked up overnight and not necessarily in the morning. The garbage is in the morning, the recycling is overnight.
Yes, but this was just clarifying the time.
Okay.
It normally just said your recycling pickup is Monday and you can put it out whatever time. It was no cutoff when you can put it out. This is clarifying.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you, Director. Councilman Ramos, do you have anything?
Yeah, I didn't see it on the communications, but where is the smoke shop ordinance? I know we work diligently with the clerk's office, public safety. Public safety is very anxious to get these new regulations with smoke shops in effect. And I'm not sure where it died. You know, it was moving quickly and then it just stopped.
It's been relieved from life support. It will be on the next council agenda, Council.
Okay. Any chance we could ask the president, distinguished president, if we can get it as an added starter? Maybe if it's ready tomorrow.
Of course.
Yes.
I'm buttering him up, you know,
Put me on
like
the
his
spot like
tie,
that.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, if it's ready.
It is
let's do
ready.
it.
So we can circulate it.
Yeah, if it's ready, I don't want
Yeah,
to push
it's
it if
ready.
you're not ready. But
If it's
I would
ready,
love
circulate
to.
to the whole council and then
We'll
we'll,
distribute it
yeah.
right after
Right.
this meeting to everyone, and
Okay.
then we'll be ready to explain it if there are any questions tomorrow.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, and one more thing, I noticed that one of the speakers tomorrow, he's going to come and ask about the status of the parking situation on Lake Street. I know Director Wooden and I had an opportunity to walk through that area probably about 2 months ago. And, you know, if we can get a report back from engineering as far as what their recommendations are to deal with some of the concerns that him and his wife had brought to the council multiple times. And then secondly, can we ask the police division to give us an idea of how many summonses they've been able to issue on that strip of Lake Street from 2nd Avenue to Abington for people parking too close to the intersection or blocking people's driveways. You know, that's as far as we can report to the residents. I know they want residential parking, and that's something hopefully we could talk to the parking authority about in the future, where we talked about doing it by zones. But I think the immediate things we asked for was increased enforcement from police. And then secondly, we did the walkthrough with engineering. Now we want to get a report back of what recommendations they may have to address some of the concerns. I want to have that ready in writing, so when they come up tomorrow, we can provide that information to them. So through the clerk, if we can get that together. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Councilman.
Mr. President, if I
Councilman
may.
Gonzalez.
Yeah, Madam Clerk, if you would follow up with the VA, I have requested more than once a detail of the expenses incurred in some of the festivals and whether permits were obtained and paid for. We haven't received any information, and this is it's been for, I believe, like almost a month and a half now. I don't know what else to do. Should I go to court and demand that this paperwork be given to us?
I'll follow up.
So let's follow up and make sure that we can get that. Councilman.
Yeah, we also I'd like to know if we can get a list of all those vendors and what they pay. Because what happens is the city subsidizes an event, and then there's 13, 14 vendors that are being charged. Where is that money going and how is it being given? because the accountability is important, Councilman Gonzalez, as you indicated. But there's these festivals that they bring in all vendors from outside of the city to sell food, and they're being charged. So where's that money going? We need to know. Because as the council, we need to know what it is. If it's nothing and they're coming in for nothing, but they're claiming that they pay. Requesting that for any event in the future, the law department prepares a document to all these festivals. If you're bringing in vendors, that those vendors pay $2,000 or $1,500 for that day, that there is a form that is given back to us, knowing that, how about if somebody gets sick with the food? Well, how do we know? But it's being sponsored by the city. So we need to be in control of that, because this is our obligation that we have to the people. And I would suggest that we prepare a form moving forward that tells how many vendors, who are they, if they're selling hats or t-shirts, and how much are they paying does it help the event?
Who are they paying?
Who are they paying? Because years ago, the vendors were supposed to write a money or a check to the festival, whatever it was, and that was supposed to be submitted to the Department of Health at the time, because it dealt with food.
Thank you, Councilman. Anything else from the council? All right, Corporation Council.
Good morning again. Just want to do a follow-up in reference to the question on the Housing Authority appointment. There has been some legal back and forth in reference to what the word authority, officer means, employee, and who can appoint when it comes to government employees and things of that nature. The O'Keefe case has not been overruled. I just wanted to make sure that case was still good. It had not been overruled, and at this moment, we cannot have more than one employee or officer. So as a result, we're going to ask that the appointment be sent back to administration.
All right. Return to administration for 8B. Councilman Quintana.
Corporation Council, at the time, they on the Housing Authority, if I recall, it had on the commission, they have to have a representative from the governor's office, or did that change?
Right. So essentially, that's essentially the situation that we have with PBSC. They have, if the governor's office made the same appointment, the person can still be considered. It's just that the administration that oversees the Housing Authority cannot make the same appointment with more than one employee or officer. That's all it is.
Thank you.
And that's been like a fight back and forth in the law for some time now. The leading case is O'Keefe.
All right, thank you, Councilman. Madam Clerk.
We are in the 30-minute public comment portion of this meeting, where each speaker will have 3 minutes to speak. Please state your name for the record. Is there anyone wishing to address the council?
Felicia Olsen Singleton. I don't know what y'all just tried to do, but I'm here to let y'all know you need to abide by laws. There's only one employee. He sat right there under recreation. He the chief of staff. Well, you have one right there on the board. He cannot be. Marquise cannot be on the board because he hasn't been away from the Housing Authority long enough, right, Pat? He has to be gone from the Housing Authority to do any business with the Housing Authority. But when he was dead, did he do the Housing Authority business and resident services? I am sick and tired of this council playing in our face. You want us to have decorum in the council. You want us to be professional. Well, your chief of staff for the mayor came up in here and didn't even give you any budget. We've been crying for a budget. Gonzalez, you've been crying for a budget since April. He gonna say, oh, I feel so messed up because my secretary went on vacation. Vacation? It was on the calendar. You plan your vacation outside of when the stuff is on the calendar. And if you gotta do it in March or February, then that's when you gotta do it. Other than that, it's over. Y'all are playing in our face. You shut people water off for less. You got $1 million budgets sitting in front of you, and everything stayed the same. Everything didn't stay the same. Everything didn't stay the same. Couldn't have stayed the same. But yet, nobody said nothing. And then, Councilwoman Roundtree, you get up on the stage and violate the Hatch Act when you said that Amina Bay worked for Newark Emergency Services on a platform that was city government funded. Her job and what she do does not go in any sentence with this campaign. Nothing. Especially at an event of the city. And when I say things, y'all think I'm getting smart on Facebook. I try to throw it out there so you can catch it. But you don't. Disregard what people have to say. So then when I come to the mic, I'm the mean person, I'm the bad person, I'm not together. Let's go by the law or get up and get out. That's it. He couldn't sit there. Nobody should be announcing any jobs in this place associated with any city.
Thank you.
In an election. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Next speaker.
Good morning, Council President.
Morning.
I just want to be clear, did we get a definitive answer at the last council or special regarding the special on the Affirmative Action Review Council? Was there any date set for that when you discussed bringing the chairperson Edna Rashidi for a special? Was there a date set for that? That's a question. With regards to the appointment of Deputy Mayor Rahman Mohammed to the Affirmative Action Review Council, there are some things that that conference is important about, because when we talk about the last 2 years, Deputy Mayor talked about the administration had other means of enforcement and other departments doing enforcement. So how is that going to work when this, or how does that look? How does that process look? How does that transition look from this board that was supposed to be doing the enforcement and monitoring since 2015? How does this look now? He also discussed how there was penalties and fines being associated from other departments. Now, these things are supposed to be administered by this board. So how does that process look? He also talked about there's certain funds or money being taken from contributions. How does that look like now with this board and being established and those things? So with this transition, I see that there's an appointment, but what does this process look like? Workforce development in that special is also important, because with all this construction and development, there's supposed to be posting of all these construction jobs all available on Newark Works site. So how does that look? Has that been working? Are Newark residents working as a result of that? Because these are a lot of components that were not in place, and now we just can't try to throw this together without having a discussion about it. So I just wanted to be clear. And also the tax abatement committee. How does this body work with the tax abatement committee? How does that information flow to the tax abatement committee? So this new component being added into our government when it was being said for all this time that it was not necessary because you had other components. Now we have it. So what does it look like? Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Next speaker.
Hello, I'm Cassie Holm.
Good
I
morning.
live in Bloomfield. I want to thank you guys for your consideration and hopeful passing of this resolution concerning the ITA. I have been at Delaney Hall a number of times. I was there when Ross Baraka had his altercations along with my Congresswoman LaMonica. What I want to reinforce is appreciation for your standing up. What we're seeing out of Illinois, what we're seeing with the Chicago mayor, what we're seeing with their governor is what I would love to see in New Jersey. And we don't see that yet. We're not seeing that from our state reps. We're not seeing that from our congressional folks. We're not seeing that from our governor. And you guys can be a part of helping them stand up. So I really appreciate your consideration of this, and I think and I hope that it will have positive repercussions and kind of help other folks to stand up to what's going on in terms of the administration and what they're doing in kidnapping people. So, thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Next speaker.
Thank you, Council President Crump and council members. My name is Raymond O'Neill, resident of Newark for the past 2.5 years. My first time in this beautiful building. And,
Welcome.
I especially appreciate the seal of the city. I want to thank you for your support of the, Resolution 7R8, the Immigrant Trust Act. I hope this gets all the attention that it deserves. We have gangs of masked paramilitary roaming the state, abducting people off of the street. It's a pretext for an authoritarianism coming out of the federal government that we have to provide every opposition to. The seal has that red hat, the Frisian cap, as does the state seal. It's a symbol of freedom and liberty. There's two other most prominent features of that seal. There's a sword. We have to defend these liberties. And we also have the arm and the hammer. You know, what's happening with these working members of our communities being abducted is disruptive. It's disruptive to businesses, industry, and even education. You know, parents are afraid to go to schools, take their children to schools. We have to stand up to this. It's also promoting what's going on at Delaney Hall. We need to do everything we can to stop this ICE detention apparatus that's in place. I'm down there about 2 or 3 times a week, providing mutual aid with a coalition of faith community organizations. And you know, what I see with the families there that have been traumatized because maybe it's their primary breadwinner in their home has been abducted off the street, and they have to figure out where they've been taken. They're detained without any determination of how long they will be there. It's indefinite, indeterminate detentions. You know, international civil rights organizations, human rights organizations call that torture, indeterminate, indefinite detention. And I want to ask you to come down to Delaney Hall of a Saturday or Sunday when they have visitation. There are no facilities, and the treatment by the guards is capricious and disrespectful. And I just again, want to thank you for your support for passing the Immigrant Trust Act resolution. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Next speaker. Seeing no other speakers. Closed. Anything else before we end from the council? Anything from the administration? All right, thank you, everybody. See you tomorrow.